Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bri and welcome to Bookmas day 4. I'm pretty sure it's 4. I don't know. You guys will see it in the title. I'll know if I'm wrong or not when I edit this. Oh, hello. Are you gonna help me today? And you've also already read in the title that today we are going to be reorganizing my bookshelf right here. I was thinking about doing like a whole library reorganization because I have 5 total bookshelves plus more books on the floor. But the one in desperate need is my main fantasy bookshelf. It's not bad, it's just not very organized. It's very cluttered. I also have like thrillers and books that I'm unhauling on the bottom shelf. I've been reading a lot of fantasy lately, so the shelf has been filling up a good bit and I just need a whole new system for it. I was thinking about including this in my doing book things video, which you guys have not seen yet. You'll see that in a few days. But I think this is just gonna be a whole endeavor in itself, so it gets its own video. My romance shelf is looking pretty good. I still have a little bit of room, plus I have that one like kind of decorated for Christmas right now, so I don't really want to change anything with that at the moment. Maybe after Christmas I'll reorganize that a little bit, but we're focusing on this fantasy shelf today. So here's my game plan. I'm gonna empty off the whole shelf. I'm gonna organize the books how I think I want to organize them on the shelf. I'm thinking of just going like standalone, then duologies, then trilogies, then like whole series and so on. Right now, I kind of have them separated with like YA fantasy and then adult fantasy on the lower shelves. And that's all fine and dandy, but for me personally, like in my own library, I feel like I don't need to differentiate YA versus fantasy because I can pick it up and I'll know if it's YA or adult because I've already read it. So then I can tell you if it's adult or YA. So yeah, let's just get into this. Let's clear off the shelf, clean it up, and then reorganize the books and make it all cutesy. Here is a quick little before shot. Again, it's not bad other than just like random books lying around. But what I was trying to explain is like starting at the top shelf, I'll start with standalone, which I don't have much, and then I'll go to duology, and then like trilogies, and then more series, just I don't know. And then I will probably have to keep thrillers on the bottom because I don't really have literally anywhere else to put them. Let's get this emptied. And here's my little helper I was talking about. Oh, we have another little helper. Hello. Okay, here's one example of where I'm a little stuck with this is I have the Powerless trilogy, but there's novellas. So I'm like, do I put it with trilogies or with series? I don't know. Another one, The 12 Kingdom. I know this is a series, but I've only read the first one. So I'm like, should I put it by standalones or by series? Okay, I just emptied the shelves. Now I'm gonna go get a damp washcloth and wipe it down. All right, I have my little knickknacks over here that I'll put back on the shelf. And then I have like my classics, historical fiction, and then thrillers. I have a lot more standalones than I thought. These stacks right here are both standalones. And then this is my duology stack. This is my trilogy stack. I have Divine Rivals and Ruthless, or what? Divine Rivals duology, and then The Wild Reverence. This is like a prequel to these. I'm just gonna say it's a trilogy altogether. And then here I have my series, and then those are books I'm unhauling. I feel pretty good, like we have a good system in place and a good plan here for what I want to do. Now I need to put all of them back, which will be fine, but I am a little bit overwhelmed seeing how many standalones I have because I was not anticipating that many standalones, to be honest. Let's see what I can do though. Okay, starting up top on the first shelf, we are going to do standalones, and these are going to take up quite a bit of space. Yeah, that's okay though. The first three I'm gonna put up here are actually DNFs, but like I might go back and try and pick them up again one day. I'm so overwhelmed. I might try to do majority of paperbacks on the top shelf and then do more like hardcover standalones on the second shelf, just so that like the weight distribution is better. Standalones are done. Now on to duologies. Okay, I'm actually gonna move The Knight and the Moth over here because it will be a duology. Only one book is out right now. And I have the Shepherd King duology to put by it because they're both by Rachel Gillig. Okay, duologies went a lot smoother. Now I'm gonna do trilogies. Okay, I finished up trilogies, so now we just have to add series and then my like thrillers and such. I'm doing the whole Cruel Prince world as one series because there are 5 books, even though the Cruel Prince itself is only a trilogy. Okay. Get in there. How? Hold on. Okay, I just shifted a few things because I didn't like how many books we were gonna have to put on the bottom shelf because this is kind of like my overflow shelf, and every single time I try to reorganize my bookshelves, it just makes it more and more apparent to me that I am out of space. I need more bookshelves, but I don't want to buy more bookshelves. If you guys aren't aware of my whole living situation, my husband and I currently live with my mom. We have basically like the whole basement to ourselves, but I really just have this like little office space out in the living area of the basement. And when we do buy a house, it is my goal to make my own like library / office room. But when that happens, I want like custom shelves and such, so I don't want to buy more shelves now when that is not like the end goal for me. But it might be looking that way, not gonna lie. I want to try and fit this on this shelf. How would I do that? Okay, I am done. I think all in all that took me like an hour, which honestly, not bad considering how indecisive I was about everything, because that's just who I am as a person. And before I give you like an in-depth tour, if you have opinions about how I did anything, I don't mind hearing your opinions. Please just be respectful though. Because again, I'm very indecisive. I know it is not perfect by any means. I know that some people aren't gonna like what I did. Honestly, I think my bookshelf looks so full, and I love a full looking bookshelf. I don't really like any bare spots or anything on a bookshelf. That's just my personal preference. I like a bookshelf looking a little bit cluttered, like a lived in bookshelf. I don't like all the books just going. Does that make sense? I'll explain like more in detail when I'm showing you an example. But I'm happy. I really like the whole like standalone going all the way to series idea, with a few little exceptions maybe. But I have been yapping enough. Let me just show you the shelf. So here is a quick glance at the after. I feel like this top shelf of standalones is what's going to ruffle some feathers. Okay, so what I was trying to explain, I don't love when books just go like, you know, lined up all across. I like some dimension within my books. Because I was wanting to make space for the book series down there, I kind of consolidated some standalones up here. And there was no really rhyme or reason for like the books that I chose to put in that stack, but there's all of them. And then I don't know if I'm gonna keep this up here just because obviously we don't have a ton of space, but I just put it back there for now. These were the 3 books that I DNF'd that maybe I'll go back and pick up. And then starting here, we have the standalones, other than the stack. So I have the Gracier, and then this starts my Erin A. Craig, which are all standalones. These 2, they are gonna be like in a series, but you could read them as interconnected standalones. Love me some Erin A. Craig, especially for like standalone fantasy, since I feel like we don't get a ton. For She Is Wrath, the Rose Bargain, and then this is the Weaver Bride. I'm pretty sure these 2 are gonna be duologies, but the second books aren't out yet, so as of right now, they're standalones. Tress of the Emerald Sea, Fear the Flames, Our Infinite Fates. Next onto the second shelf of standalones. Well, standalones getting into duologies, I guess. I have this really cool candle. Oh, can we focus on the candle, please? There we go. This candle is sick, obviously very fantasy coded. A Fragile Enchantment, One for My Enemy, The Wren in the Holly Library, Conform. This one is another one that I'm pretty sure is going to be a whole series, but as of right now, only the first book is out, so I have it with standalones. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I have 2 copies of. These are both kind of like special edition copies. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, Alchemized, My Baby, and then The Night and the Moth, that was the one that I was saying is going to be a duology, so I put it by the other duology by Rachel Gillig. To Kill a Shadow and To Shatter the Night, this is a YA fantasy duology. A Study in Drowning and A Theory in Dreaming, another YA fantasy like dark academia. Rewitched and Uncharmed, these ones could have been put with interconnected standalones, but they're in the same world and it's like they both match. They're like witchy, so I was like, I'm just gonna put them together as duology. Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch, another YA fantasy. And then Serpent and the Wings of Night and Six Scorched Roses. I have the Star Curse King, whatever the second book is called. I'm gonna leave it as a duology because this is a novella, so I don't know. And then I just have this Enemies to Lovers candle in the corner. When I have a plain Jane shelf like this where all the books are just lined up, I like cluttering it a little bit, so that's why I have things on the end. And then hopping down here, we have more duologies into trilogies. The Spell Shop, I only have read the first book, but the second book I plan on reading this month, so I'll pop it right here when I do read it. These Hollow Vows, another YA duology. And then I did decide to put the Powerless trilogy in trilogies, even though we do have this novella. Kingdom of the Wicked, another YA trilogy. The Prison Healer, YA trilogy. Caraval, obviously YA trilogy. And then Once Upon a Broken Heart is its own trilogy, but it's in the same world as Caraval. So this was another one I was like, do I put it in trilogies or series? But since they're their own trilogies, I was like, it's fine, I'll put it with trilogies. And then up here, I have the Dawn of Onyx trilogy. This is adult romantasy. Then I already kind of explained this too with Divine Rivals and then Wild Reverence. It's all in the same world, even though Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows is its own duology. I'm just gonna put it with trilogy because this is a prequel to Divine Rivals. So again, I had a row going all across, so I wanted to add a little bit of dimension, so I just put that there, and I think it looks cute. Again, this is like my opinion. If you don't think it's cute, that's fine. Just respect me, please. Now, moving on to series, I have my Kindle right here that I just put in the corner. Twilight is a classic, of course, and Ember in the Ashes, YA. Cruel Prince itself is a trilogy, these 3 books right here, and then The King of Elfame, this is a little novella for The Cruel Prince, and then The Stolen Heir and Prisoner's Throne are a duology, but it's like characters from The Cruel Prince, so I was like, you know what, I have 5 books here in The Cruel Prince world, I'm gonna put it as a series. Shatter Me series, of course, and then I also have Hunger Games up here. This is all like dystopian, so I kind of wanted it together. And lastly, down here, we have Frida McFadden thrillers on this side, and then I have some classics and other thrillers and historical fiction on this side. I got Taylor in the middle, and then I have these cute little classic books as well. And there's my unhaul pile. So again, overall, I am happy with how it turned out. I have a little bit of room on the bottom shelf still. I don't know what I'm gonna do after I run out of that space though. Leave me suggestions for like small living spaces where I can put my books. Or just pray that I find a house to buy soon. This is kind of like my special edition fantasy shelf slash book of the month on the bottom. But I have ACOTAR, one of my favorite series, and then Throne of Glass and Crescent City, just other Sarah J. Maas series. And all my Fourth Wing books, these are Poppy War books, and then this is Under the Oak Tree. I'm just gonna leave that how it is for now because honestly I really like it and I like having my special editions on this green shelf that my husband's grandma made for me. But that's all. I'm gonna go sit down and read a book for a little while because I'm tired after moving all those books and then moving them back. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more of my content, especially my Bookmas content. I will see you not tomorrow, but the next day for another Bookmas video. I'm posting every other day for the 12 days of Bookmas, so join along, catch up on my other videos if you haven't watched them already, and I will see you next time. Bye!